Little hot. New Hampshire for the weather, of course. Everybody goes to New Hampshire for the weather.
Not in December and January, they don't.
That is no. They do think about the weather here in Southern California. You know when we really get people pouring in is after the Rose Parade. Everybody watches the Rose Parade. It's 82 degrees outside normally, beautiful, and there you are in New Hampshire with snow 10 feet above your roof line. And as you back out of your driveway, you have the walls of snow going straight up. It's like you're going through a canyon. All right, guys, let's do it. Time for some news. Handle on the news with Layla in for Jennifer this week, Wayne Resnick, and me, and Lee Story. Well, no surprise, Flex Alert has been issued for today. Today is going to be the hottest day, and the energy grid is strained, as you would expect. So what is a Flex Alert? Voluntary conservation of energy. Setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher. No use of major appliances, so don't even bother washing your clothes and do what I do, wear the same clothes for weeks at a time. Turning off unnecessary lights, then you can practice your braille, and using fans to cool your home, unplugging unused items. Let me ask you a question about fans. I mean, I like fans. I use fans. I have fans in my bedroom. I have fans in every room. But when it's 115 degrees, what is a fan going to do other than blow 115 degree air around the room?
If you're also running your AC, which is antithetical to saving energy, but if you're also running your AC and your fan is properly placed, it will circulate the cold air into the parts of your home that might not get hit by the AC as much, right, allowing you to keep your thermostat a little higher and be comfortable. I know you don't care about that because you're going to crank that AC to 68. And if you're right in front of it, it can cool you through convection by literally blowing across your body. By the way, this is Dean talked about this several weeks ago on KFI. Yes, the fan. Not only does the fan, he said, not only does the fan not cool the air in the room, he said it actually makes the air in the room a little warmer. But if you're in front of the fan, you will feel cooler because of the convection. So
thank you, Wayne Nye, the science guy.
Well, I got most of that from Dean.
And I think if you don't have AC, some kind of airflow is better than none.
If you don't have AC today, you're dead tomorrow.
Oh.
Well, or you're at a cooling center.
Yeah.
A little cooler inland today.
Or you're lingering.
The basement. Like in the basement.
Yeah, or you're lingering for an extraordinarily long amount of time in the refrigerated aisle at Ralph's.
That's true. That's true, for sure.
Cal OSHA to loosen worksite pandemic rules. I mean, this is just bottom line. Let's get rid of the confusion. Worksite rules should fall in line with what everyone else is, kind of doing off the job. So this is happening today. They're set to approve the revised worksite pandemic rules, allowing fully vaccinated employees the same freedoms they have when they're not at work. Governor Newsom says he already has a draft executive order ready to go. And what he's going to do is sort of push this through without it having to go through the usual legal review process. That would take a little time and keep the rules in effect until the end of the month.
Now, let's talk about confusion for a moment. The rules from Cal OSHA, which govern the rules of how we work. Cal OSHA is extraordinarily powerful. In recent weeks, it's postponed, then rejected, then adopted, then rescinded proposed rules. And people bitch about confusion, that they are confused. Really? You think so? And so right now, all mandates are off. But I'll tell you, in this building, everybody's still wearing masks. And no one is getting together. You don't see people crowding together. And you would think that this would be one of the last workplaces that would wear masks, yet we all do. Well, they all do.
So the guy accused of killing 6-year-old Aiden Leos in that road rage incident apparently was involved in a similar thing. You remember the story of Aiden Leos driving with his mom And this guy, Marcus Anthony Ayres, is in a car with his girlfriend, Lynn Lee, and he shoots into the other car with a Glock and hits the little kid who dies. Well, apparently there was a second incident after that, before he was caught, but after he allegedly killed Aiden Leos, he got into some kind of argument with the driver of a Tesla and brandished the gun. The driver of the Tesla said, "I called the cops," and he drove off. And then he shaved his beard, this guy. He started wearing his long hair tied up. He put the car that they were in at the time of the shooting of Aiden Leos into a family member's garage and hid it there and drove a truck to work instead. So he knew. In other words, according to interviews with investigators, he knew what he did. He knew they were after him. He tried to get away with not being caught by disguising himself and hiding the car. And, of course, it didn't work.
Yeah, and there's a lesson to be learned here.
Charged with murder.
There's a lesson to be learned here because the victim here, the victim, the mom's victim, they were driving. I think she cut off the perpetrator.
Lynn Lee cut them off because I believe they felt that the victim was driving too slowly in the carpool lane.
Right, and assuming all that is true, that it is the victim's fault in starting the altercation. But there was an issue going on, and then the victim flipped the bird to the perpetrator. And you never, ever, ever do that. You never show anger, even if you're in the right. You apologize. That's what I tell my family. That's what I do, because you never know when you can piss off people like this. I assume everybody has a gun in the car. And so I do a lot of apologizing when I get cut off. No problem. You know, if it was my fault, I wave, no issue. And I think this is an important lesson.
I understand why you're saying that, but also you never blame the victim.
No, not at all.
And
as if somehow their behavior, because the only problem with that is then the suggestion is that because Joanna Clunan, that's the mother of Aiden Leos, because she did apparently flip off these guys for cutting her off, that somehow in a small way it makes their actions justified.
No, not justified. You just know that someone is going to do that, and you do everything to avert it. Everything. You don't let people who are going to get pissed off. Or you try to de-escalate it as quickly as possible. That's the lesson. That's all I'm saying. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. Kayla, I'm sorry.
We do have a Kayla who works here, though.
Yeah.
Layla, but yeah, we have a Kayla, so I understand why you said it. No problem at all. Cal ISO has issued a flex alert and is asking people to voluntarily cut their power use tonight from 5 until 10 p.m. Cal OSHA is set to approve revised worksite pandemic rules that allow fully vaccinated employees the same freedoms as when they are off the job. And the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose last week for the first time since April. Jobless claims rose 37,000 from the week before. We're checking out some issues on the 91 next.
The new COVID relief bill pays businesses up to $10,000 in tax rebates per employee per quarter. And it's a big rebate. And if you receive PPP during the pandemic, your business likely qualifies. Problem is how to get hands on money. This is a bureaucratic mess. Well, innovationrefunds.com, I believe, is the answer. I told you about how they were able to get me a 6-figure refund for my business. Their world-class CPAs crack the code how to access these tax rebates. They do the legwork. They share a percentage of the cash you get back. Over 6,000 businesses, over $450 million. That's how successful they are. Go to innovationrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer the questions. Innovationrefunds.com. They help me, and I'm sure they can help you too. Innovationrefunds.com.
Are you paying too much for auto insurance? Visit AAA.com/insurance for a free quote and find out how much you could save. Find competitive rates on auto insurance through the Auto Club. Visit AAA.com/insurance today.
Sunny skies by this afternoon, highs around 90 to triple digits inland. This report brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We have an issue on the 91.
It's in Gardena, 91 westbound at the 110. It's a fire that's on the right side of the freeway, kind of underneath the freeway as well. Slowing it down at Main Street. It is definitely going to be dealt with by LASD. They're on the way. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, issue on the 405.
Yep, as promised, we came back to Van Nuys here. Now, listen up. Southbound 405. We're circling over at Nordhoff right now. Now, there is indeed, it looks to me like this was just a stall, but it's in the second lane from the left. So you got carpool left open, all the others are open. But this car's just sitting here. Freeway service patrol, if you're up, we could really use your help here. This car's all by itself. Now, the backup is to the 118. If you're in Mission Hills, use Sepulveda Boulevard. You can get on the South 405 at Nordhoff, Roscoe, anywhere to the south. From that point, up and over the big hill into West LA, it's just morning drive slow. But this car is just sitting here. The problem, too, is that drivers come right up to the back bumper of it before they realize it's not moving. So, again, South 405 Nordhoff, one of the middle lanes blocked. South of this, things will improve, promise. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
Travel through Torrance on the 405 north of Crenshaw Boulevard. Still looking at a two-car crash blocking the second lane from the right. That's the middle traffic lane. Your trip is going to be delayed right to the 110 freeway. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, the Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard is here. The Girl Scout cookies you love meet cool mint and world-famous soft serve, blended together in this chocolatey, minty masterpiece. Grab it today, only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
Neil Saavedra here. About 3 years ago, my wife and I called American Vision Windows. They installed gorgeous French doors for us, changed the flow of our home, added architectural appeal. The next project they're doing, our kitchen windows. We can't wait. Their work is meticulous. It's outstanding. I recommended them to my brother, Craig, and now he and his family have a lovely window-encased patio, added 150 sunny square feet to their home. We all know Bill and Kathleen's story. They had a horrible experience replacing their own windows. They started their own company. Fast forward 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes like mine with personal care, complete professionalism, and attention. CSLB number 778326. Give you and your home the gift of light, warmth, and beauty. Trust the window company my family trusts. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today for that free estimate. 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or for specials, visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
SolarMax Technology is going to work with you to create a system that fits your budget.
This is SolarMax's best offer yet. A package that includes a solar system and home battery backup for $69.98 a month, and with an APR as low as 0.99%.
Go to SolarMaxTech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSLB number 97240.
Prime members, time to fire up the grill and enjoy extra savings at Whole Foods Market. Get animal welfare certified bone-in beef rib steaks for $11.99 a pound through June 22nd, while supplies last. Learn more on the Whole Foods Market app.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. That's all true. But thankfully, they're offering a way out. The Fresh Start Initiative. If you qualify, you could save thousands. The experts at Optima Tax Relief will fight to get you the best deal possible. And they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau to prove it. Call Optima for your free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. Optima Tax Relief. For details, visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Have you ever called a service company and been shocked by the way the technician looks when they show up at your home? You know what I'm talking about. The creepy-looking person in an old pickup truck wearing a dirty T-shirt who just plain makes you feel uncomfortable to be around. This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champions Plumbing, Heating, and AC, and I promise you, you'll never have this problem when you call us. All of our technicians must pass a background check and a drug test, and adhere to our strict grooming guidelines. We'll send you an email with their name and a picture before they show up. And when they get there, they'll park where you can see them. They'll be wearing a clean uniform and a company ID, and they'll lay down a mat and put booties on their feet before ever entering your home. At Service Champions, it's all about respect. Respect for your home, respect for your equipment, and most importantly, respect for you. Our number is toll-free at 833-777-7777, or find us online at servicechampions.com. I want to live forever. The aging process gets so cool, there's no sense in keeping it out the last couple of years. There really isn't.
I already know that I'm not going to see my grandkids grow up to their 40 or whatever it's going to be. I already know that.
Now, while I'm here, can I enjoy these things without the scolding? This tastes good.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
This makes me happy.
On KFI.
And good morning, Bill Handel here. Morning crew on a Thursday, very hot June 17th. Today is the hottest day of the heat wave, and flex alerts are in place. So everybody is asked to keep their thermostats at 78 degrees or higher. And if everybody does that, it allows me to keep mine at 68 with complete impunity.
At least you got your priorities in order.
Yeah, is that where you set your thermostat? Is that the
No.
ideal number?
No. I'm 72, 71, 72. Reasonably comfortable.
I didn't ask your age. I was saying, where do you set the thermostat?
Oh, burn. Hey, if it's 110 outside.
Yes.
Does it matter if your thermostat is at 78 or 72? Won't your AC just be running all the time anyway?
It is,
Yeah.
but I think it works much harder the lower the temperature is. And it uses more energy. And I have
Doesn't it use the amount of energy it uses until the thermostat registers where you want your temperature to be, and then it shuts off?
But once you reach that temperature, it shuts off.
Right.
And if your house is well insulated, it shuts off for a longer period of time. I don't know, because I've never raised my thermostat to 78 degrees.
And you never will.
And I never will. Let's move on, okay?
Let's go back to Handle on the news.
Another federal holiday. So we talked yesterday after the Senate had approved this. Then the House voted yesterday. They approved making Juneteenth or June 19th the 12th federal holiday. Of course, President Biden is expected to sign this. Juneteenth commemorating June 19th, 1865, when the last slaves who were in Galveston, Texas, learned that they had been free. They were, that was 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. So
I think what I'm going to do at 9:20 is do a segment on this, because I think it's important, and why you have senators, well, not senators in this case, but House members who voted in favor of this. And the reason they voted in favor of this was an easy vote, and they still vote against increased voter rights, or they're voting to suppress voter rights. I'm going to explain that at 9:20, because this is an interesting topic to say the least. I'll bring that up at, I think, 9:20.
Well, if you go to buy a gun in San Jose, your transaction will be videotaped and audio recorded. Everyone has fun. Nobody's scared. Yeah, City Council unanimously approved this new law. It's the biggest city in California to have such a rule, and what they're trying to get to are what they call straw buyers, where somebody goes in who's allowed to buy a gun, and they buy a gun, but they're really buying it for another person who's not allowed to buy a gun. And they have no intention of keeping that gun. They're gonna give it over to the other guy as soon as they lay their hands on it. So the idea here is, if later down the road there's a crime, for example, you could go back and see and hear who the actual person who went into that gun store and bought that gun was.
Now, are the Second Amendment people going to argue against this?
They have been already
Saying you have the right to buy a gun for a felon because it interferes with your right.
I don't think they're saying that. I would assume they're saying that this is that a normal law-abiding person exercising their right to buy a gun should not be surveilled in this way, particularly since they have to keep the audio and video for 30 days. Although, here's the other thing. So for 30 days, generally speaking, you don't find out about a straw buyership within 30 days.
Yeah. Also, that's one point. Also, the argument is, gee, it interferes with our rights. Now, at the supermarket, you're being videoed also.
Well, you're being videoed at the gun store. The thing about this is virtually every gun store already has surveillance.
And this is just more specific, and I think it's going to just make law enforcement easier. It's going to make it easier to catch the bad guy, especially through the straw sales. And the argument, and I believe, and I agree with the Second Amendment people on this one, because this is intrusion of your personal rights. For example, I have a real hard time going to the supermarket, and it can be argued that my rights are violated, that when I buy a box of Pop-Tarts that I used to kill someone later on, and I hand it to someone who should not buy Pop-Tarts, you don't get in front of my rights. Take a break. We'll come back. All right, Layla.
Is it strawberry Pop-Tarts or?
No, I like the cinnamon sugar ones.
Please don't eggo him on.
Whoa.
Do you heat them up? Toast them?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, they're so good. Okay, we'll talk more offline. All right, John, hit the music. Thank you. The operator of California's energy grid has issued a flex alert to save energy. California Independent System Operator President Elliot Mainzer says the flex alert for this evening will help the grid from being maxed out. He says more batteries have been added to carry solar energy over into the night.
The expectation going into the summer is that we will have approximately 2,000 megawatts of battery storage capacity on the system. The expectation is for about a 1,500 to 1,700 megawatt increase.
The flex alert runs from 5 to 10 tonight. People are being asked to ease off the AC, power down big appliances, and turn off the lights when they can. Fines and fees for lighting fireworks in Long Beach could now skyrocket to more than $20,000.
The city calls it the actual cost of the response to the use of fireworks, which are already illegal in the city. Councilwoman Mary Zendeja says homeowners were behind the push for stiffer punishment.
That the consequences are greater than the joys of lighting the fireworks.
Councilwoman Stacey Mungo agrees.
I think it's really important that we work together to ensure that this 4th of July is the safest yet.
On top of the $1,000 base fine, the new costs approved by the council this week include charges for investigating citations, collecting and storing fireworks, and assessing injuries or property damage. Corbin Carson, KFI News.
The LA County Sheriff's Department has come up with a form that aims to keep hikers from getting lost. The hiking plan form asks for the who, what, when, where, and other related information to a hike or campsite. People are asked to leave the form with a responsible person in case of an emergency. The information will be given to a search and rescue team if the hikers get lost or hurt. Pediatricians across the country say more attention needs to be paid to kids' mental health. President of the Children's Hospital Association, Amy Knight, says mental health should be approached in the same way as physical health.
I think some of the early warning signs are often missed. They're easily dismissed by parents and even sometimes by people in positions of authority. It's seen as bad behavior in school.
Knight says as kids get ready to go back to school in the fall, they will likely be anxious, so early diagnosis and treatment are critical. Let's head to a crash on the 22.
It's in Garden Grove on the 22 eastbound Beach Boulevard. It's actually a motorcycle down on the on-ramp there. So I can see on the traffic map that you are slowing down as you try to get on the 22 eastbound at Beach Boulevard. Just know that it's there on the right shoulder. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh with more on the 405.
You betcha. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start with something that we're looking down at right now. We're orbiting over the 405 in West L.A. Northbound, before Santa Monica Boulevard, there's yet another problem in the left lane. Now, Freeway Surface Patrol is already here along with CHP, and they're trying to move it out of lanes. However, this northbound 405, now coming up from the Marina Freeway, I'm sure you know it's slow every morning, so North of the 10 is extra slow. North of Santa Monica Boulevard, things are good. Now, going back to San Fernando Valley, right after our last report, Freeway Service Patrol showed there was a stall, South 405 and North up. I would think they're probably pushing that off right now. A little slow from the 118, but after that morning drive slow, up and over the big hill. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
When you way through Torrance, 405 north at Crenshaw Boulevard, still working a two-car crash here. It was in the second lane from the right, but they're moving it to the right shoulder. Even so, the damage begins right around Avalon Boulevard for your trip. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
With Kawhi Leonard sidelined by a knee injury, the rest of the Clippers lineup rose to the occasion. Paul George put up 37 points, and he had some help from hot shooting teammates like Marcus Morris.
George moves to his right, pick and pop. It's Morris open, near side corner three on the way. And it's down. Marcus Morris, money.
Morris contributed 25 points. Reggie Jackson was good for 22 as L.A. beat the Utah Jazz 119-111 to take a 3-2 game lead in the playoff series. The Clippers are now poised to make it to their first conference finals ever. All they have to do is win Game 6 tomorrow at Staples Center. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
If you're looking to get out of your house, for whatever reason, say you're going to move, you're going to downsize, you have financial issues, the value of your property's gotten so high you want out, maybe you've inherited. So now you're going to list it, right? And then you got to clean and paint, repair, and you have to stage the house in many cases. So let me tell you about a different way of doing it. Selling your home for a fair price without any of that. The buyer doesn't even walk through your house. No appraisal, no commission, no fees. You get paid in cash. You can do it in 10 days or less. I've just described what directbuyers.com will do. That is what Janet and Matt are all about. Brother and sister, they own the company, been around since 1986, and I love the way they do business. And there's a lot of schlockers in this field. It's full of them. So let me suggest, don't sell your home until you talk to directbuyers.com. Here's what they'll offer you. An honest, no-obligation offer. They can even get you a $15,000 cash advance before closing to help you with your move, and more importantly, they'll never, ever lowball you. DirectBuyers.com, DirectBuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, DirectBuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. Expect a sunny skies by this afternoon. Highs in the triple digits for the valleys, the IE, and the high desert. Upper 80s to low 90s for the basin and inland OC. Upper 70s to around 80 along the coast. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Layla Muhammad.
Get sizzling solar savings now with Semper Solaris, your local veteran-owned solar and battery storage contractor. Being veteran-owned matters. Here's veteran, founder, and owner Kelly Shawhan.
In the military, when you give your word, it's just is your word. Work hard and keep your word. That's what we do every single day. Everybody did exactly what they said they were going to do, and that really impressed me. I've heard about Semper Solaris and found out that they were veterans, so I knew they were going to do the job right.
Declare your energy independence. Choose solar panels made in America. We get the job done right with esprit de corps and honor. Add Tesla Powerwall and prepare for blackouts. Grab the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. No interest or payments until 2022. Call 877-211-5591. 877-211-5591. Or visit SemperSolaris.com.
26% federal tax credit based on eligibility. Consult your tax advisor. Cannot be combined with any other offers on approved credit. New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Expires 6/30/2021. CSLP number 978152.
There are no limits to what we can do together. So let's keep rising, California. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Your actions save lives. To learn more, visit covid19.ca.gov.
Dads love to show off their grilling skills and tell plenty of dad jokes. I always get my dad his favorite grilling meats from Stater Brothers. They're fresh, flavorful, and always down approved. No joke. Happy Father's Day with love from Stater Brothers Market.
Hey, DQ fans, Father's Day is right around the corner, and DQ is celebrating your dad with something special, a DQ Father's Day cake just for him. DQ makes each Father's birthday cake with love. Grab a cake with fudge and crunch as cool as Dad this Father's Day. Only at your DQ.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states including New York. Offer meets and loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right, we have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
Cedar-Sinai is right here, with over 250 locations in Southern California.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
And good morning, everybody. Bill Handel here. It is a Thursday, June 17th. Flex alert starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Hot. Man, we're in a heat wave, record-setting heat wave across most of the western United States. Let's continue on with more handle on the news. Layla in for Jennifer, who's back on Monday. Wayne, who is back on Monday. And me.
Out of the jails and into treatment. Okay, so a state appeals court says that California can't lock up people for months in jails after they've been found mentally incompetent to stand trial. The court in San Francisco upheld a 2019 lower court order that gave the state a 28-day deadline for taking those defendants in state mental hospitals after they're ordered committed because they were found incompetent to stand trial. So putting them there versus keeping them in the jails, because they can be sitting in the jails for months. The ACLU took part in the lawsuit and said about 4,000 people each year are placed on a wait list to get into the treatment facility.
Makes sense.
Well, this is all right and good. However, it's similar to the homelessness problem, which is there aren't enough beds in the state hospitals, and that's the prime reason that the delays are so long. It's not because nobody cares, it's because that's how long it takes for a bed to open up. So unless we're going to invest a lot of money in increasing capacity in the mental health facilities, what do you do? It's just like when Judge Carter ordered the city to have everybody on Skid Row housed in 6 months. But what do you do if it's impossible?
Yeah. You know, this says a lot about the state of California in terms of its ability to spend money on programs. Because, well, we have the highest income tax rate in the country. Well, thank goodness we don't pay that much for gas. Oh, wait a minute. We have the highest gas rate in the country. All right, our break is property taxes. Wait a minute. We have some of the highest property taxes in the country. Well, at least sales tax. Oh, hold on. We have the highest sales tax in the country. And we still can't do it. Let's do it.
Okay, the Biden administration is undoing some rules that was making it harder for people to seek asylum. You know, and I mean, this is, everybody knows, under the Trump administration, they tightened up things to try to make it harder for people showing up at the border seeking asylum. Specifically, this is people who are fleeing gang violence, primarily, in their home countries. Trump administration made it harder. Biden administration's reversing that.
Making it easier.
It's still not, easier, but, you know, it's still not easy.
Right.
Over half of those cases are rejected under normal circumstances.
It just expands the people, or expands the list of people who can apply. For example, gang violence prior to this you couldn't base gang violence. It had to be persecution. It had to be political persecution you were guilty of, or you were accusing the government of. And gang violence was not considered in that category. Now it is. That's all. Also, economics. Still, I don't think economics. If you're starving, that's not the basis of asylum.
The room where it happened.
No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where